Alright, here we go. Very first one. Number 11, 361. What do you know about him? It's a perfect square, right? We got perfect cubes coming, so make sure you take them seriously, unlike some of our perfect squares on our perfect squares test. So, what's the square root of 361? 19. Okay, what else do you know?
B.
What can you do to B?
Take it out.
Not yet.
Oh, just
B squared.
I got to fix him first, right? Now I can take him out. Which one? B squared becomes what? Just B. Alright, what's 2 times 19 in the front though?
38.
38. And then B. And then A and B inside. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got that one. It's not on the
Okay. Alright, did you check to see if it was perfect square?
Mm-hmm. It's not.
Okay. So what's the biggest perfect square that we have talked about?
What?
The biggest perfect square that 25, and 25 squared is how much?
625.
Okay, did you check to see if 1058 divides 625? No, you didn't check, or no, it doesn't? It doesn't? Alright, so what's the next biggest perfect square we know? 24. What's 24 squared? Don't say I don't know, use your calculator. 576, right? Does it divide into 1058?
No.
Okay. What's the next biggest perfect square? 529 is 23, right? Does it divide? I think that one does.
Yes.
Does that divide? What is that, 2?
Yes.
All right. We got 529 times 2, okay? This is coming in chapter 6 in January, okay? That's why we've been doing it for a while. So you still got a little bit longer, bless you, until we do it for real, okay? All right, j to the 9. Do not change that to be 3. It's not 9, it's an exponent. How do I do exponents? J to the what? 8, yeah. Say it like you mean it, girl. And then j to the 1 makes 9, right?
Yes.
All right. 529 and j to the 8, what do they get to come out as? 23. There you go. There you go. And then what 2 guys are left inside? 2j. There you go. Alright, what's 13?
Oh, I got this one.
Okay, what is it?
2W8X5.
No.
W to the 9.
These 2, you got to add those 2. But it's not 2 W's.
W. You have 2 W's.
So what? Okay. So what would be the answer though?
2 W's.
No. Multiply the bases.
Right, that's what it is.
Add the exponents.
Right, that's what it is.
1 times
1 times 1 is 1. You add them. You add the exponents, not the numbers in front.
Oh, this W to the 8. Or to the what?
Oh Lord Jesus.
Oh Lord.
Okay, look, the exponent here is 1.
I see it.
Okay. Alright. Alright, can you add those 2 together?
No.
Nope, they're not like you done. Let's skip 14 for a minute, okay? Alright, what about 15?
Oh, I think I got
X
this
to
one.
the negative 4.
X to the negative 4th, but that's not your final answer because we don't like negative exponents. So it's already over 1. So it's make anything a fraction is already over 1, right? To make it positive, you just flip it. So it'd be 1 over x to the 4th. Okay, 16. So what? You okay? Okay, you just made that look like you didn't know what I just did. So, all right. To make us not have to do all that stuff, subtract them so they're positive. Don't say 5 minus 11. Do 11 minus 5. What's that? Positive 6. And then it goes where the biggest one is. The biggest one's on the bottom, okay? That just keeps you from having to do 2 separate steps like you did. And then you got a 1 on the top. Is that okay? Good. All right, what about 14? You see, I know you see all that crazy mess, right? What's inside the parentheses that you can do? You divide them. So what do you do to the exponents when you divide? You subtract them. So what do I get when I subtract the x's? Now that x does not have a negative exponent. It's just 3 minus 2. What do you get? Where'd it go? Where does it go? Top or bottom? There you go. Alright, what about the y's? What do you get? Do it till it's positive. And where did we go? It go to the bottom. There you go. Alright, and then you bring the 2 left in the top, and that negative stays on the bottom. You're not here. Cubby's in the tray for you. Alright, you don't like negative exponents, right? How do you make them positive? What do we do on 16? You just flip them. So the 2x goes where? To the bottom. And the negative 3y to the third goes to the top. And now it's positive 2. Alright, so look, on 15, when you multiplied the bases, you added. On 16, when you divided the bases, you subtract. So if you only got one base of y and one base of x, what do you do to the exponents then? What's the only 2 operations left? We did addition and subtraction.
Multiplication, division.
Multiplication and division. So what do you do when you only have one base? Multiply or divide?
Multiply.
You multiply. So what's 3 times 2? 6. But what's a negative times a negative?
Oh, wow. This is a lot.
What? Positive, so it's y to the 6. You got room to bottom. Alright, what about this one? What's 2 to the second power? 4. And then x to the 2.
That hurt my brain.
I'm sorry. We're going to do more, because we're not getting into this until about January.
My brain cells.
Yeah, go take a shot. Hurry. Hurry, because you're going to miss what we're at to do. Alright, so, you got your graphing calculator with you?
Always.
Okay, because remember that fraction button?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be your friend today. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so I need to pass, we got to do ACT. They may make sure you got the ACT if you didn't do it already. And while you are doing 23 through 25, which we are not starting yet, we're not cheating and starting. We're not starting yet. We're going to do 23 through 25. While you're doing that, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to hand out your homeworks back to you. If you don't get one, that means you didn't turn one in. A lot of you, I think, just forgot to turn in the graphing problems. So if you got like a not so great of a grade because you didn't turn in the first 3 problems, just fix it and turn it back in. Okay, because I have a feeling most of you just forgot to turn it in. And then we're going to hand out notes in a minute. Ready? Don't start yet.
I have my letter of the day.
Get your letter of the day. Okay. Do not write down every little bitty thing, right? If you can do it in your head, do it in your head. 3, 2, 1, go. 23 through 25. 23 through 25. 3 minutes. 10 seconds. All right, here we go. 23. What would you do on 23? You just plug them in, right? Where's the negative 3 get plugged into? To the x. So what's negative 3 minus 5? Negative 8. So that's either A or B. And where's the negative 2 get plugged into? The y. So what's negative 2 plus 3? There you go. Everybody okay? All right. What about 24? 24, you should know how to work most of that out in your head. If you can save yourself even 1 second for each question, you saved yourself a whole minute for the whole test, okay? So it says to solve for B. Remember, don't read the whole question and the whole thing, just read the question. So what would I do first to solve for B? Multiply by 3, which would give you 3x, right? Okay so far? And then how would you get the 4a to the other side? Don't waste your time writing all that down. You have 3 times x, subtract 4a. That's f. Are y'all okay with that? All right, what about 25? It said, what's just the question asked you?
What is the length of B?
There you go. What is the length? What's it say? In feet? In feet. Oh, wait, the whole thing. Given the pen is 12 feet wide, okay? So now we're talking about a dog pen that's 12 feet wide. What's the length, right? How do you find the length of a fence? You don't subtract. You add the 2 sides. This one's 12, that one's 12, so that's 24. Plus 2x, right? Because 2x is when you add them, you get 2. Okay? And it wasn't equal. It's only number 60. Okay? Take your calculator. What's 60 minus 24? 36. Don't write any of that down. And then keep it in there and just hit divide 2, and what do you get? 8. No, 8. 18. That sounds better. 18. You okay? The less you got to write down, the more time you can save yourself. All right. Everybody in here needs a graphing calculator. And y'all know the deal about these. Get one and pass the whole thing back. Pass the whole thing back. Whole thing. Pass that back to 9. Pass the whole thing back. Whole thing back. Whole thing back. One more. Good. Very good. Okay.
It's behind our other notes?
Yep.
Okay.
This is the rest of chapter 4 right here.
And chapter 4 is over the hard to
No, really the beginning of, to me, anyway, the beginning part harder than this part. The whole thing.
What was that thing you took yesterday? That is a quiz?
Mid chapter.
Are we going to have like a whole chapter 4?
Okay. Whole thing.
We have a whole chapter test?
We are discussing that on Monday. Because, I really didn't think we needed to, but we're going to discuss that on Monday.
You don't
Not-
need to. That's good.
Not like us discuss that, like me and other Algebra II teachers discuss
You're going
that.
to vote for the no. Right?
I'm pushing for the no, yeah.
Oh, that.
Mm-hmm. No, it's the fact that, I mean, I've already tested you on it once, so why do I need to test you on it again? But then again, the other side of that argument is maybe you've learned a little bit better and you can increase your score a little bit too. So we're gonna do, huh? Yeah. How many times have people actually been to 0 period and done corrections? So I didn't say y'all. I said in general. Okay. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. If you are not gonna be here tomorrow, that is perfectly okay. I know it's gonna be a late night for most of you, but that means you got an E-day tomorrow. Yes, ma'am.
That'd be a nap day for me, son.
No, it ain't gonna be no nap day for you. An E-day means that you're gonna watch what?
Movies.
No video. No video.
We actually are talking about doing that. What?
Yeah, no. We've been begging for that for like years now.
What thing you doing?
Aaron, have you started it yet, buddy?
Maybe
this?
you're ready.
Are you gonna be here tomorrow or something?
I'll be here tomorrow, yeah.
No, so she said.
I can't go to the game tonight, I actually have a meeting tonight.
I can't go because I don't go.
Have you been to the other 9 games?
Huh?
Have you been to the other?
Yeah.
Oh no, you don't go.
I used to teach in Tuscaloosa, so I wouldn't mind going over there and
Then
seeing.
you guys go. We 9-0 and be in there.
Look, we had scared the other day. Now we're not going to talk about that. So, all right, number 11, complete the square. Tomorrow, I minded too. I was sitting there interviewing those seniors, and I was like,
Wait, what happened? What happened?
okay, so Noah and I are a little superstitious, okay?
Oh, me too.
And Noah got his jersey, and it was too big. So I said, we got to do something. We rolled his sleeves up, right? So it didn't look like it swallowed him. But then they won the game. And so every Friday he came back, and we kept winning games. And then the last Friday when we played Hoover, I forgot all about it, and I wasn't here. And I was like sweating bullets. I was like, oh crap, come on guys, come on, win the game, because it was bad. All right, so tomorrow we're going to do quadratic formula, okay? But we've done quadratic formula in Algebra 1. Everybody has. We're going to build on it a little bit. We've done complete the square in Algebra 1, but we're going to build on it. Everybody good? Okay, the cool thing about complete the square is it never changes. It's the same steps over and over and over. So the very first step, you ready to write it down?
Yes.
So you don't forget it? You ready?
Nope.
Very first step.
Yep.
Get the x's by themselves. Get the x's by themselves. It's the very first step, okay? Very first step. Please write the steps down because they don't change. No matter how hard the stuff gets, it never changes the steps. All right, so to get x by itself, we add the 11 over. We get 11 x squared plus 10x equals 11. Everybody good so far? All right, second step. Here we go. Second step has a whole bunch of 2's. Second term divided by 2 and squared. Second step has a whole bunch of 2's. Here we go. Second term divided by 2 and squared. Get it written down so we can go.
Wait, what?
Second term divided by 2. Yeah, divided by 2 and the squared.
Is it still gonna be like 25x?
No, just all right. Second term is what number? Ready? 10 divided by 2 and square it. Now, I know that you could all say that that is 25 in your head, okay? But here's the deal. They're going to get harder, okay? And we get to cheat right here. So if you will write these steps down, it will make your life so much easier, okay? So yes, you know that that is 5 squared, which is 25. Write that down because you get to cheat. All right, here we go. So you're going to take this 25 and you're going to add it to both sides because that is our square. We have completed the square. And that is perfectly legal to do as long as you do it to one side. You got to do it to the other side, right? Y'all okay so far? Add those two together and what do you get? 36. There you go. Here's step 3. You ready? Step 3, write it down, step 3. Here we go. Factor. Step 3, factor. But here's the deal, you get to cheat. What are the factors of 25 that add or subtract should be 10? 5 and 5, right? Every single time it's going to be right there. That's why I told you to write your steps down. Every time. No matter how hard they get, no matter how crazy of fractions they get, it's going to be right here every single time. Y'all good? So I could write x plus 5 and x plus 5 if I wanted to, or I could just write x plus 5 squared because it's even squared right here. 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 times 5 is 25. Y'all okay with me so far? You can still factor if you wanted to. You just don't have to. All right, fourth and final step. You ready? Fourth and final step. Solve for x. Fourth and final step. Please make sure you have your steps written down. Solve for x. Huh?
Wait, what's the third one?
Third one was factor. Fourth one is solve for x. All right, so you got a plus 5 with x, and you got a square with x. What do you got to get rid of first? How you get rid of square? You square root it, but here's the deal. The square root of 36 is not 6. What is it? Plus and minus 6. You've got to have both of them. You've got to have both of them. Huh? On your test, you just took? Yeah. All right. Here's the deal. You got two equations. You ready? You got x plus 5 equals 6. And you got x plus 5 equals negative 6. Everybody okay with that? So you're going to have two different answers. So you're going to subtract this 5 over, right? So what's positive 6? Subtract 5. 1. So x equals 1. Y'all okay with that so far? And then you got negative 6. Subtract 5. Negative 11. And when you get your quiz next week, what's happening at these 2 points that you can check on your calculator? That's where they cross the x-axis, right? Y'all okay? So when you get your quiz, not right now because we got a whole 6 of them to do. And plus you got to change your window because your window's only 10 by 10, not 11. So you have to change your window. But we will do that tomorrow, okay? All right, we're going to do these in a certain order. We're going to do 3 next. Here we go. Number 3. What's the very first step? There you go. So what are you going to do? Add a 65 to the other side. There you go. Do that real quick while I erase the board. Everybody okay so far? We're doing 3. We're doing them in a certain order because that way we can build how hard they get. All right. Second step. It's got all the 2's, right? Second term is what? Negative 8 divided by 2 and square it. Y'all okay? All right, write your steps down because this is where we get to cheat. That's negative 4 squared, and that is positive 16. All right, what do we do with that 16? Add it to both sides, right? It's legal to do whatever you want as long as you do it to both sides. Then what's 65 plus 16? 81. There you go. Okay. All right. Third step is to factor, but you don't have to. Every single time it's going to be right there. So what am I going to write? X minus 4. That's why you had to take that sign. What's negative 4 minus 4? What's negative 4 times negative 4? Positive 16. Okay? It's going to be the same thing. All right, then the last step was to solve for x. But what's the square root of 81? Plus and minus. If you only put positive, you're only going to get half your answers, okay? Okay, you got 2 equations. You got x minus 4 equals 9, and you got x minus 4 equals negative 9. So add that 4 over. What's 9 plus 4? Positive 9 plus 4. 13. What's negative 9 plus 4? Negative 5. There you go. And on your quiz next week, what should you do in your calculator? They better cross the x-axis at 13 and negative 5. Y'all okay? All right. We're going to go to 6 next. Here we go. Number 6. Number 6. All right. Now, there's a little bit different about number 6 at the end. Not at the beginning. What do we do first, though? There you go. Get x by itself. Repeat those steps to yourself constantly, and you won't forget them. All right. So we got x squared plus 8x equals negative 22. Y'all okay? Anybody lost? All right, second step had a whole bunch of 2's. What was it? There you go. Second term divided by 2 and square it. Write your steps out so you can cheat in just a minute. Yes, your math teacher's telling you to cheat, but on this, not for real. Okay, what are we going to do with that 16? There you go. To both sides. And you get negative 6, right? That's where this one's a little bit different. It's not a perfect square, and we're going to have to square root a negative, which is what we just learned. Alright, we get to cheat right here. That's a positive 4. So we're going to put x plus 4 squared. Last step was to solve. Are y'all okay so far? Alright, square root it. I'll give y'all a second to get right there. Mm-hmm. It's okay, we're not doing much with it. Don't worry. Quit freaking out. Alright, can we square root 6? No. Well, what's that negative get to come out as? Plus and minus I. Very good. And since I cannot square root the 6, it just stays square root of 6. Okay? Now one more step because I still have x to get by itself. So I would subtract that 4, right? But I can't actually subtract it. So we're just going to write negative 4 plus and minus I square root of 6.
The answer?
That's the answer, because you can't add them together, right? Right. Okay. And remember, our complex number always lives in the back.
Well, think you all, I wonder if you had added together, but like.
You could separate them if you wanted to say negative 4 plus
I
I,
see.
but there's no point because you would never see them separated on the test. Yes, ma'am.
How would you check that?
What's the I tell you? What's the I tell you? Anybody? For real?
That's not on the x-axis.
That it's not on the x-axis. So if you get an I, then when you graph it, you know it won't be on the x-axis, okay? All right, next, we got 3 more. Let's go back to number 2, okay? Let's go back to number 2. We're doing them in this order for a reason, okay, guys?
You know you got the formula, Clinton.
You got what?
You got the formula.
What formula?
If you just not regular.
I know, I got you. Don't worry,
You
I
got
got
the
you.
formula.
All right, here's the deal on this one. First step is to do what? There you go.
Can't divide 13 by 8.
That's where this one gets a little bit different right there, okay? But have no fear. This is why I told you. I like that. Look at you go. That's my new term right there. Okay, so look. You take negative 13 and divide it by 2, right? Anybody lost about that? That's why I told you to write the steps down. The steps are not changing, okay? 2 things. 1, I told you to write everything down so you can cheat. 2, you got a calculator, okay? So don't freak. All right, here we go. What's negative 13 squared? Positive, what? 169 over, what's 2 squared? 4. Is everybody okay so far? All right, so what are we going to do with that term? Just like we did with all the other ones. Don't be letting it freak you out. You're going to add to both sides, right? I feel the tension building up already because of these fractions.
Is this where it's going to be our best friend?
This is going to be fractions of your best friend.
Oh, yeah.
This is why, at the beginning of the year, I told you not to do mixed numbers, because mixed numbers were going to make your life worse. This is why, right here. You got your calculator ready? All right, here we go. So we got negative 36 plus, how do we type in a fraction? Parentheses, there you go. 169 divided by 4. And I know that you know this is 6 1/4. But 6 1/4 is not going to do you any good. It's going to make your life worse. Okay, so how did we make that a fraction? Remember what button we hit? Math. No, just math. Just math. The one underneath the green button. And a fraction. There you go. Enter. And then your calculator is like, hey, do you want me to take that answer and make it a fraction? And you're like, yeah, I do. And what do you notice about both those numbers? What do you notice about them?
They're both squares.
They both cover squares. That's why they make your life easier, okay? All right, here we go. So we got 25 over 4. And then you're like, oh my gosh, how am I about to factor that stuff? Oh, yeah, that's right. Right here. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what did I write? X minus 13 over 2, yeah. Squared. Okay, it's not so bad. Okay, what else? Gotta solve. Square root it, yeah. So x minus 13 over 2 equals plus and minus. What's the square root of 25? 5 over 2. There you go. Oh, they have the same denominator and everything. That makes life so much easier. How you get that 13 over 2 to the other side?
Add it.
You add it.
Would it always come out like that?
Not always, no. The very last one is going to be different. Patience. I got you. I got you. All right. What's 5 plus 13? 18, and then it's over 2. What's that? 9. Good?
I'm sure.
Why?
Never figure Miss Blackness.
I like that. That's what he's saying. There we go. All right. Negative 5. What's negative 5 plus 13? How much? 8. And then it's over 2. So how much is that? 4. And when you on your quiz next week, you go to your calculator, and what's happening to 9 and 4?
Remember that.
Here we go.
Didn't you just go your calculator anyway and just do it?
Yep.
Not in pre-cal. It comes up when you're doing vectors in pre-cal where you have to do complete this order. Trust me, I already asked that question 50,000 times when I was learning this myself, because it's the same thing as quadratic formula, it's the same thing as graphing, so why are you making me learn this crazy stuff? And then I got to pre-cal and I knew what.
Wait,
So wait.
Yeah,
So we have to
on the
show
test,
our
if we
work.
just plug those points in.
You have to show your work.
Oh.
Because in pre-cal, this is very important for vectors. That's the only place it comes back up, but it's in pre-cal. All right, well, what number was that? 2? Then we go to 4. Here we go, number 4. What's the first thing you do?
Get your X's out.
There you go. You do that real quick. Number 4. You do that on number 4. Go, 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 so we don't have homework.
I love how she trusts us with this.
The only thing on this quiz is this and quadratic formula. That's it.
Accumulator.
Oh, wait, number 4 is different. I'm sorry.
I was
Wait,
going to say.
hold on. You got to get the x's by all the x's by themselves, right?
Right.
What do you notice is you got to divide by 2, right? So you have to divide by 2. Now, if you're very, very good at doing things in your head, if you divide by 2, you get 7 over 2 and 5 over 2, right? And then how would you move this 5 to the other side? You subtract it. So if you can do all that in your head, do it. If not, I'm going to write the steps out for you. Don't worry. What's wrong? Welcome to pre-AP Algebra II Trig.
So like, well, all of our
I mean,
math
like
now
any
is like
whiteboard
around the
where I
corner.
need to work this out.
Around a line? What do you mean?
Like lines.
You mean graphing?
Yeah.
Chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6. Then we get away from it for a little while, and then we get back to it in trig. So, all right, here we go. What's the second term? Second term. 7 over 2, right? But then it was negative 7 over 2, excuse me. Then you have to divide it by 2 and square it. All right, if you had Miss Miranda, she told you to kiss, right? Keep it switch, switch, right? Okay, so you keep the negative 7 over 2. You switch division to multiplication, and then you switch the 2. So what would I get?
2 over 7.
No. Make 2 a fraction.
Oh.
What is it? 2 over 1, and then flip it, and you get 1/2. There you go. Multiply. You get negative 7 over 4. Y'all okay? Come on. Oh, Lord Jesus. Where? Really? Second term divided by 2 squared? Same thing we've been doing? Same thing we've been doing. Yeah. It's just scary because it's a fraction already. Okay? You're going to keep the negative 7 over 2. You're going to change division to multiplication. Okay, 2 as a fraction is 2 over 1. I got to switch him. You get 1 over 2. Every single time it's going to be 1 over 2 because every time you have to divide by 2. So, all right, so this guy right here is your friend because that's where you get to cheat in just a minute, right? Everybody good? All right, what's negative 7 squared? 49 over 16. All right, what do we do with that guy? Add into both sides, and we're not going to freak out because we have our calculators to add it together. Keep complaining and you'll see how ridiculous I can get.
What?
Yeah, you're welcome. So keep complaining.
Is this an easy problem?
Can be an easy problem, yes, so chill.
So what's a hard problem?
Keep
No,
complaining.
I don't
Keep
wanna see
complaining
that.
and I'll show you.
No.
Alright. Ready? Got your calculators ready? Alright, here we go. Don't complain, because that just makes things worse. Alright, we got parentheses, negative 5 divided by 2, plus parentheses, 49 divided by 16, we get this crazy decimal, right? Crazy.
Math.
There you go, you go to math.
916.
And that's good. What do you know about 9 and 16? They're both perfect squares. There you go. Golly, well, what was that now? Is that what it was? All right. Then you get to factor, right? You get to cheat right here. What am I going to write? There you go. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Then we square root it. Then you what? What's it equal? Plus or minus? Perfect. Ooh, and I was nice and gave you the same denominator.
Wait, what would we do if it wasn't a square root? Like if it didn't come out in...
Patience, grasshopper. All right, we're going to add that over, right? I'm just lazy and don't want to write the fraction again, so I'm just going to put plus on. Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right. All right, what's positive 3 plus 7? 10 over 4. All right, 10 over 4 does not divide, right? 10 over 4 doesn't divide, but what number goes into 10 and what number goes into 4? So that reduces to be?
5.
There you go. All right, then you got negative 3 plus 7. How much is that? 4 over 4. There you go. All right, we got one more. Why in the world did you wait until now?
How would you announce
Why?
it?
Yeah, and why'd you announce it to everybody? All right, number 6, last one. We are not. No, number 6. Number 5. Number 5. We probably will not have time to finish this, so we might have to do it tomorrow. Well, we're gonna start it. No, because we got to finish everything, so we're good. All we had to do was get one of these. All right, number 6. What's the first step? Go. There you go. All right, we don't have. Oh, yeah, we do. We got a 3 in the front. So what do we have to do with the 3 in the front? Divide it and move the 8. So what would I get on the other side? 8 positive 8 over 3, right? You good?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yep.
You can write the steps like we've done on the other one if you need to.
No, just give me
Okay. All right, Ethan, you ready? It's already a fraction, right? Then we have to divide it by 2 and square it. All right. Here we go. Keep it. Switch it. Switch it. But don't forget to square it. Keep it, switch it, but don't forget to square it. You just multiply straight across.
Okay, so
We get 10 over 6. But to make our lives easier, before we square that, what do you notice about 10 and 6? Gonna make your life easier. Yep. And this, my angels, is where you would cheat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
That's
Alright.
not gonna be the only thing that confuses me.
What?
When to know whether you can cheat and it's like that long.
It's always the reduced one squared.
Okay.
Always. I mean, you could use the 10 over 6. It's not wrong. You're just going to have to reduce at the end. You're still going to have to reduce either way. All right, so what is that? 25 over 6? Oh, excuse me, 25 over 9. Golly. All right, what do we do with that? There you go. All right, let's do our calculators to add those, and then we'll call it a day, okay?
So basically, the one you're going to use as your print is going to be the one right before that doesn't have a parenthesis or a square.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, 24 plus 2, we did 3 over 18.
All right, hold on. Let's see. 8 over 3 plus 25 over 9. Is that right? 25 over 9. Yeah, and then make it a fraction. And I got 49 over 9. Yeah. That's good. They're both square roots. What'd you say? Okay, we'll do it again and see if we get the same thing. Okay, so let's change that to be 49 over 9, and then we'll finish the rest of it tomorrow, okay? If you're not going to be here tomorrow, I understand, but you've got to make sure you stay up to date. Now, here's the deal about the videos. When you watch the videos, do you just go through and watch and say, check, I watched the video, and you're done? Do you do that? No, you have to make sure that you are taking notes, going through the video, and circling what you don't understand, and then Monday morning coming to 0 period and asking questions about what you did not understand. Capiche? All right, here we go. We are done. Did you get, did you get 49 over 9 that time? Did you hear what I said? Did you get 49 over 9, yes. Okay. Now can you do what? What time is it? Wait 1 more minute and then just take your stuff.
Like it's a really long walk.
I know how far it is.
Like I'm like you're gonna yell at me if you make.
No.
You let Noah go pee.
No, Noah's going to the bathroom and coming right back.
No, he took his bag.